Assalamualaikum to Dr. Ramlan and my fellow classmates. And for this presentation, me and my fellow members have been decided to choose consequence-based ethics as our topic and racial discrimination in the workplace as our case. First of all, I am Laila Carmila and I will be presenting the brief description regarding our case. But before that, consequence-based ethics is content of a group of ethical theories that place essential importance on the consequences of an action, all of which maintain that an action is morally right when its positive outcomes are maximized and its negative effects are mitigated. For example, we can see in utilitarian and also egoism. So by referring to our cases, which is workplace discrimination, is common in Malaysia. It is about the discrimination that happen in the workplace despite the country itself is a multicultural country. It is required to highlight that discrimination can happen anywhere, not just in the workplace. And discrimination against employees and workers is not only based on race but also on gender, disability, marital status, pregnancy, and also language. And according to the case, it is about few common discrimination happens in the workplace in Malaysia, but we only focus on the racial discrimination. Clearly, it can be seen when there are a few rises in the news articles. So the first case, the male worker had been questioned by his superior when he performed a prayer. He had trouble in his workplace when he got questioned for having prayer break through the day, since he the only one Muslim in the office. So whenever he wants to go to prayer, he got a green light and asked permission to his co-workers, but the superiors did not seem to do so because they often call him back just a few minutes because they said there are some work to do. And on Fridays, he even skipped his lunch so that he can perform Jumaat prayer without rushing back to the office. So next, for the second case, it is about a public relation officer where she claimed that she had been left out during the meeting or any work discussion because all of the co-workers and the superiors speak Mandarin, since many of them were Chinese. She had been voiced out about it, but the co-workers and superiors only expected that somebody will translate everything to her. Eventually, they are not doing that. Therefore, it is difficult for her to blend in, and also it is very frustrating for her to do her job properly. These two incidents have caused many problems to the victims, especially their mental health when they are working, and indirectly it will causing them to become less confident and unhappy about their job responsibilities in the workplace. And all those issues are a big issue that should not take lightly. Moreover, discrimination still occurs on the basis of race, disabilities, color, sex, and age. So next, my friend will explain details about the case. So thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Nazmi binti Zahiri and today I'll be presenting to you the relevant issues. The relevant issues that are reported in the News Straits Times that we chose regarding the racial discrimination, where despite Malaysia's first-class employment standards, many people are still suffering with workplace discrimination, whether they are in private or public sectors. So Malaysia is a multiracial country, consists of a diversity of language, race, religion, and cultures. Of course, discrimination occurs and it's so hard to erase it or to avoid this problems from occurring. So this is where a public employee from a property development company, and she wanted to be known as Shanti Kumar, said that she was always being left out in the conversations among her Chinese colleagues, because they are, communicating and interacting with each other using their mother Mandarin tongue. Sometimes discussions and meetings are conducted in Mandarin language as well. So her employers did not take this issue seriously, where they would assume that other employees would lend their help in translating and informing those who did not speak Mandarin. The saddest thing is this does not only occur to Shanti but also to those who did not speak Mandarin. She also said that the employees or her colleagues would simply be ignoring her existence whenever she wanted to blend with them. Shanti tried to be, positive as much as she can, but the environment is still the same, and there has not been so much changes. Shanti also said that she never expected that she would face racial discrimination, where she expressed disbelief in which racial discrimination at the workplace deemed to be one of the big boys in the industry. The second issue, which is also reported in the New Straits Times. So another victim shared his unpleasant experience when he was a logistics supervisor at a Japanese car dealership. This is where he was being questioned for having a prayer break throughout the day, since he was the only Muslim in that company. Of course, he wanted to perform his prayer, his obligations as a Muslim. Despite the fact that he has been informed the other colleagues that he would be away for a few minutes to perform his prayer, he would still get calls from his superior to return back to office. They said that they needed him to do something. Khalid expressed his dissatisfaction, where whenever he wanted to go to Surau, in less than 5 minutes, his phone will be ringing telling him to go back to the office. Khalid said that nobody is bothered by his existence when he was in the office, which makes this situation is very obvious. So during Friday prayer, his bosses would attempt to make a call to inform him that new stocks have arrived. Instead of bringing this issue to Human Resource Department, Khalid decided to leave the company, since the majority of them were non-Muslims. So it's hard to make a complaint because you're the minority group there. Thank you so much, and that's all from me.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Suhaili binti Muhammad Rizwan Chong, and I will tell you about the actors that involved in these cases. First actor that involved in this case is Khalid Amir, which works at Japanese car dealership. He experienced racial discrimination in his workplace, and during his prayer time, he was often get harassed by his colleagues and his supervisor. Sometimes during lunch hour, he did not go to eat because he wanted to complete his prayer. He told NST reporters that when it's not time for him to pray, his colleagues and his supervisor did not bother or give him any work to do. And he cannot complain about this issue because majority of this worker in this company was come from Japanese people. For the second actor that involved in these cases is from Indian workers known as Shanti Ramesh. He worked at the real estate development company. She was discriminated during meeting. She always being left out and excluded from this activity because she cannot speak fluent Mandarin. So the others worker assume that the others workers will try to help them translate about the topic that they discussed in the meeting. This situation not only occurs to the Shanti, it also happened to the others worker in that company that cannot speak fluent Mandarin. So here I will touch a little bit about how this issue can occur in our industry, and also it still happen nowadays. First of all, religion and culture different. Second is social stereotype. Third is political situation, and the lastly is different ideology. This factor we can clearly see in any institutional. For example, that there is still bias occur in selection during recruit new workers. So that's all from me, and I will pass to the next presenter, Natasha.
Implication. The first implication of workplace discrimination is decreased employee productivity. The loss of productivity of the employee is due to the loss of morale at the workplace. When employee is discriminated against, they may feel helpless, anxiety-ridden, and lack of interest in fulfilling their responsibilities. This could lead to self-esteem and stop contributing ideas. For example, Adida Rahim told News Sunday Times that her colleague and her male superior questioned her credibility just because she a woman. Furthermore, loyalty and turnover. Employees who observe discrimination at the workplace will likely to leave the business and increase the turnover level. Recruiting and training replacement is costly to the organization and affect productivity of work progress. When an employee believes that there is no future in the organization, they will less invest in the job. If employee resign to escape the discrimination, the employer need to hire the new employee. News of the discrimination in the workplace will spread quickly. This ruin company reputation and lost loyalty customer. For example, Khaled Amer was questioned for having prayer break by his supervisor. Besides, reputation and recruitment. Discriminatory affect company reputation within the community itself. Workers will complain mouth to mouth to their relative about their company, who make their business elsewhere. Job seekers will research for the company before they apply for the job. When the company have discrimination issue, this will affect their job requirement. This cause the top candidate to search for other company to work for. For example, in the company, if the employee is discriminated against, such as when meeting, they using only Mandarin language, which other employee cannot understand it, it will give image of the insider of the company.